Good afternoon, everyone. If you are able to see me and hear me, please give me a yes. So at least I know technically everything is good. If you're able to hear me or you're able to see me, please give me a yes. Okay, good. So thanks a lot for joining us today. And this is our next series for this quarter. So we'll be having master webinars today, next week, following month, etc. So for today's session, we have got about 800 plus, who sign up. So far, we only have 334 in the session today. Hopefully, later the rest would join. So now, it is going to be 2 hours. So I'm going to take 2 hours of your time. I hope you are able to follow closely, listen, take notes. Don't just listen like entertainment. Please take notes. And there'll be a lot of points that I'm going to share. I'm going to give you some ideas. I'm going to give you some breakthrough ideas. I'm going to give you some ideas that you probably never heard before. So please pay attention. Put your phone, put your phone aside. Tell your boss, don't disturb you now. Put your phone aside and pay attention. And please take notes. Don't just listen as though like we have a memory of, this photographic memory, can just listen, etc. And then after 5 o'clock, you forget. So please take note. And if you have any questions to ask, please ask the questions in the chat box. Later, at the end of this session, I will be going through the question and answer. So it's going to be 2 hours. It is now 3 o'clock or 3:05. We will finish at about 5 o'clock. So it's going to be very intense. I have got 40 plus slides, very, compact slides, very deep. So it's going to take about 2 hours. So please pay attention, put your phone aside, tell your boss don't disturb you, and listen. So today's session is on the Masterclass recap. So Masterclass is a program that we do every quarter. We do it in Penang, in KL, in Kuching, as well as Sabah. Of course, it's a paid session. So today is more of a recap for those past participants to listen in, to recap what you have learned. And also we'll talk about some issues that is happening today. And of course, if you have any question to ask, please ask. So my name is Arul. I'm sure many of you all do know HR Forum. You probably know me as well. You may have attended some of our events or trainings or conferences. I was just like you all, once upon a time, working full time, Mondays to Fridays. Whether you like the boss or you don't like the boss, you still got to see the boss's face. Today, I don't need to do that because I'm the boss. So I have a team. I have a team of colleagues that we work together to make events like this a success. So I'll be able to share quite a bit of corporate experience, quite a bit of industrial experience, and I'm a person. I like to focus on working smart. I'm not saying working hard is not important. Work smart, go deep, look into the root causes. So as I present the slides, in the next minutes and next 1-2 hours, I'll be sharing with you on how you should go deep. What are the areas to look out for? So, we also run a HR platform, HR group, HR community in Facebook. I'm sure you are part of the member. If not, you won't be listening in today because this live is there. Now, how this group can be useful to you and to your colleagues, I would encourage all of you all to get your colleagues to join us, right, in this group, because we do seminars like this or webinars like this. We have got seminars, we have got discussions, quizzes, competition, and whatnot. Next week, many of you all may be aware, we are having the National IR competition. This is a second year running, so please join us. I didn't have the slides to share with you. Oh, is there? Okay. So yeah, later part I'll be sharing it with you. So do join our National IR competition. And yep, it is live, is it now? Yes. Okay. So you can see there, National IR competition. It is tomorrow. Sorry, next week, not tomorrow, next week. Next week, basically whatever that you have read in the forum, we'll be asking you on some of the cases, facts, EA, a little bit on IR, a little bit on what has happened, how the industrial court looks at it, and so on. All of you all would join. We have got about 1,000 participants already, but we can still accept more. So it'll be next week. Please join us. And the best part of it is that you are able to win some good prizes. If I'm not mistaken, the first prize cash winner, can you show up the slides again? The first prize winner, it's about 5,000 ringgit, and it goes on, and so total prize. So just imagine, in half an hour effort, right, you can win 5,000 ringgit. But of course, if you have not been following Facebook, you have not been joining our webinars, you might have an issue. You might not be able to know certain things, but give it a try, right? We will repeat this again next year. Hopefully next year we can offer more cash prize, but join in for the fun, not necessarily for the money, but join in for the fun to learn. It is also a way to see, where are you today with regards to your knowledge, your competencies, your understanding on the employment laws of Malaysia. So this will be happening next week. So if you can still join, you need to go to our Facebook group and sign up for this. Okay, and also to just share with you very quickly, in September, we are having the Malaysia HR Tech and Innovation Conference and Expo. Many of you all may have joined us. The one we had last year also in Nexus, or the previous year we had in Sime Darby Convention Center. So this year we're looking at a little bit more bigger event, hoping to target about 2,000 delegates and visitors. Last year we had about 1,007, and it's free. Anybody can join. It's a 2-day event. We provide morning break, tea break, no lunch break lah, right? Free conference, mana boleh bagi free, yeah? Right? Is very costly. Not easy to organize events like this. This event alone will cost us about almost 500,000 to organize. But of course, we are lucky. We have got the sponsors and exhibitors who sponsors the event, who exhibits, and from the collection, we pay for the cost of the entire event. So if you're in KL, please do join us so that you are able to learn, network, come and look at what are the latest technology, what are the latest tools, what is the latest trend, come and network, meet people, etc. So far, those who attended in the previous years, they said it was fun, entertaining, you are able to see new faces, get some fresh ideas, network, and so on and so forth. So mark your calendar. So this will be on 22nd and 23rd of September. That will be held at the Nexus Convention Center at Bangsa South. Okay, so let me move on to my slides. Now, before I begin, this is a slide that I always share in all the training seminars and webinars. What it says that compliance is expensive. Sorry, if you think compliance is expensive, try non-compliance. So in other words, what it says, when we don't follow the rule, it is much more expensive than following the rule. I'll give you one example that all of us are guilty of. Let's say if it is now 9 o'clock morning, assuming, and you're on annual leave today, it's a working day, and you want to have a quick nasi lemak, you want to have a good breakfast. So you park your car at the roadside, you'll be looking at the watch, at 9 o'clock morning, itu majlis punya orang mana, I think he also having breakfast. You go and have your breakfast. And when you come back after breakfast, you realize there's a summon on your windscreen. Why? Because we didn't activate our parking coupon. So if we were to follow the rule, the cost is 60 ringgit. But because we choose not to follow the rule, the cost is now 20 ringgit or 30 ringgit, depending on what your town council charges. So if you're compliant, it is 60 ringgit. But because we choose not to be compliant, now we end up paying 30, 60, depending on what the rates are. So compliance, it is cheaper than non-compliance. And there are many examples in the business world as well, where companies took shortcuts, they decided not to follow, and somehow or other they got caught at a later stage, and the penalty is much more grave than you just following today. Because when we follow rules, it is not easy, can be painful, can be tiring. So what we do, we take shortcut. Maybe we don't follow lah. Hopefully they don't come lah. Hopefully they don't check. But when you are hit, right? So these slides that I'm sharing with you will be shared in our Facebook group. So later part, about 5:30 or so, we'll share these slides, whatever that is seeing today. So, I would encourage all of you all, when you are making your HR presentation, you are presenting any policies, framework, run through this one slide just to remind ourselves and to remind the bosses and the managers that compliance is expensive. Sorry, compliance is cheaper, non-compliance is expensive. And so now, this is just an idea, or shall I say, an advice or some guidance for those of you all. If you feel your organization, your HR department, you don't have a clear roadmap, right? A clear strategy or a clear focus. So every HR department, every HR practitioner, there are three areas that you got to focus on. First being compliance and governance, right? Second is operational. Third is strategic. You must have all three. You can't say that, okay, we only want to focus on strategic this year, compliance and governance, maybe not now, next year, not important. Later part, when I present, you will realize that many of these are important. So this is a reminder to all HR department that you must have your focus for the year, right? Next year, your focus would be almost similar. There could be some changes, but you got to have it. You got to update your policies. You got to establish your public holiday calendar. For those companies, if you observe, minimum, let's say 11 or 12, for example, 11, Employment Act requires you to publish your 2026 public holiday calendar before the year starts. Because if you don't, the penalty can be as high as 50,000, or shall I say, not more than 50,000. Have you put up your posters on sexual harassment? Right? It's required by the Employment Act. It is required also by the Sarawak and Sabah Labour Ordinance. Failure to do so, maximum fine 50,000 ringgit. Have you established your domestic inquiry panel? Or do you take an approach where when there's an issue, there's an employee has committed misconduct, a major one, and you need to do a DI, and you start running around the town, okay, who can be our panel, etc. So before things happen, identify managers in a company, train them up on what is DI, how to run a DI, how to write a report, how to read the charge sheet, and whatnot. Appoint them. So when you need to do a DI, you know who to appoint, right? What about operational matters? Have you set up your PIP framework? I'll be sharing later, PIP framework. Have you set up your PIP framework? Have you set up your probation management systematics? I'll be sharing that in a while as well. Have you, set up an interview panel? Because if I ask you, can you hire staffs? No, it's very difficult. It's so difficult to hire. Agreed, it's not easy to hire. But what are you doing to speed up your hiring process? Oh, I just apply job straight, put up a job straight, etc. That's not the way. Now, if HR don't have the strategy, we are highly paid HR clerks. I was once upon a time also in HR, right? So we cannot be just doing things when things happen. We got to be proactive. We got to have strategies. We got to have systematics. Otherwise, we are a highly paid HR administrator, paid 8,000, 10,000, 12,000, but administrator. Or do we live up to our name as HR manager, for example, HR senior manager, or an aspiring HR manager who's now a senior executive? So we cannot operate in a haphazard manner, right? In a manner where things are all, not in order, clumsy, and so on. You got to have a very clear focus, right? It is never too late. Even though it is May, it is never too late, right? And what about strategic areas? Have you established a succession plan? What happens when your key, employee leaves, right? Have you set up a career pathing? So later I'll be showing you a career path. Have you set up career pathing? Have you set up your TNA? Have you analyzed what training people need, right? And so on and so forth. So, right, there are so many areas to do. Of course, you can't do all one go. You got to look at what is urgent, what is important, what is crucial, etc. You prioritize it. But what you do, it's another story by itself. But you got to do it. You got to have a framework. You got to have a road, a focus area or your roadmap. Now, let me go into some areas. My presentation today is going to be a little bit here, a little bit there. These are some of the highlights from the training. There are much, much more. So I just want to highlight some of the areas that most HR practitioners may not be aware of, right? You think you know it. If you know it, good. But if you don't know, and if I'm your superior, I will have to give you a warning letter. Why? Because you have failed to protect the company. Because you have failed to ensure that the company is not, going against what Employment Act says, right? Now, you have to know it because we are running the department. the CEO of the company has entrusted you. They have put a kepercayaan on you that, you know what, if you are the HR manager, you please guide the company, make sure the company, follows what the X says, right? You must do it. Now, I would encourage all of you all, right, to please buy a copy of this book. You can get this book from Popular Bookshop. It is about 30 ringgit or so. So this is, this book has the Employment Act, all the regulations, right? There are so many regulations that you need to have. So get a copy of this book. You must have it next to you so that you can always refer, right? Many of this is in this book. The problem with many HR practitioners, not all, right? I'm not saying all, but the problem with many HR practitioners is they are not hardworking enough, or in other words, they're lazy to learn. Whenever they have an issue, what do? Call Labor Department, call here, call there, WhatsApp this group, WhatsApp that group, etc. That is not the right way to learn. If it's a school leaver, no problem. School leaver, no guidance, no experience. But a working adult, working for the last 5 years, 8 years, and if you don't know the basics of employment law, if I'm your superior, you're out, finished, done. Right? Or I'll put it in PIP. Why? Because we refuse to learn, we get the company into trouble. Right? So please get a copy of this book. It is only 30 ringgit. You can buy it from Popular, or you can buy it online. Or if you're coming to our masterclass, you'll get a copy of this. Right? And don't just keep a copy of this. Please read it. Find out. When you have an issue, don't quickly ask. Read, research. You can also research in our Facebook group, and then you call to clarify. So in other words, don't ask, clarify. Right? When you clarify, you've done your research. Okay? Now, why did I say that? What does Section 20 of Employment Act say? And this is also quite similar to Sabah and Sarawak. Now, if an employee resigns, and today, what day is today? Today is what? Today is May 14. An employee resigns today. When should you pay his salary? Section 20 says that if the employee's contract ends today, he has given you notice. 2 months ago, he told the company, I'm resigning, I'm giving you notice, my last day is 14th of May. So today is the last day. When should you pay his last salary? Section 20 says today, not the 7th of next month. If you pay the 7th of next month, employee makes a report, and if you're guilty, maximum fine 50,000 ringgit. It can be lower, but the law allows the Labor Department to put a fine on you, maximum 50,000. Right? Section 20. So similarly, if you were to terminate the employee, he may have committed misconduct, right? Or you terminate him, you don't give him notice. Section 21 says that you must pay the employee today, not next week, not on the end of the month, or not on the 7th of the following month. Today. Section 20, Section 21. So if you know it, good. Are you following it? If you don't know, now you know. Please go and read Section 20, Section 21. Present this to your bosses. That Employment Act says that, contract, if it's terminated, must be paid today. So please take note of that. And minimum wages, now we hear rumors about new minimum wage coming. We do not know when it's coming and how much will it be. But as of now, for now, the minimum wage is 1,700. So an employee can be paid monthly. All of y'all, I'm sure if you're in HR, you're paid monthly, whatever salary you're getting today. So monthly 1,700, or you can also pay this employee on daily basis. If an employee works 6 days per week, the daily rate is 65 ringgit 38 cents. How do we derive this 65 ringgit 38 cents? You can see the formula at the bottom. Or if somebody is working on hourly, what is the hourly rate? 8 ringgit 72 cents per hour. Now, the minimum wage order also says this, that an employee can also be paid on piece rate, tonnage, task, trip, commission. So for example, I would like to hire you as an assembly operator. Your job is to assemble this device. Every device you assemble, I pay you 1 ringgit. In a month, I have to guarantee you 1,700 pieces so that you are able to earn 1,700 ringgit. Now, in this scenario, that is your minimum wage, right? Or, those guys who are driving the cement truck, the lorry with the big rolling bin at the back, the cement truck drivers, many of them are paid on commission or they are paid on tonnage. You deliver one lorry, one trip, you deliver the trip, you come back, I pay you 100 ringgit, right? So if that is the case, if the contract says you are paid per trip 100 ringgit, what is the number of trips that you must guarantee him during normal hours of work? 17 trips. So 17 times 100, 1,007. That is his minimum wage. So you can pay them on monthly, daily, hourly, piece rated, tonnage, task, trip, commission, right? These are the options that you have. Now, for those of you all, if you are paying on daily, let me give you an example. Now, I've seen these mistakes happening, so you might also have this issue. If an employee is paid you hire this employee on 5 days work, right? So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, he's daily paid. So if he comes to work on all the 5 days, he need to be paid 78 ringgit 48 cents per day. So 78.46, 78.46, 78.46. Every day he work on a 5-day, rate or daily rate on 5 days, per day is 78.46. Now, let's say Tuesday is his working day, but a public holiday falls on Tuesday. He is a daily rated employee. Do we need to pay him for Tuesday? Because it's public holiday. He's not going to come to work. The answer is you still need to pay him. Why? Because he is also entitled to the public holiday. So remember this, the daily rated worker, if he falls sick, he's also entitled to sick leave. He's entitled to public holiday leave. He's entitled to hospitalization leave. He's entitled to paternity leave. Or if it's a female, she's also entitled to maternity leave. So you cannot have this concept where it's public holiday, you tak masuk kerja, I tak bayar you. No such thing. And if they come to work on a public holiday, you got to pay them public holiday rate. So remember this, for those daily or even hourly, they also enjoy annual leave. So what is different? The mechanics or the calculation method is different, but they are all entitled to all the benefits provided for in Employment Act. And when a minimum wage comes, like in the past case, it was below 1,007, the minimum wage moved to 1,007. Now, let's say down the road, the government announces, for example, right? I'm not YB Ramanan, so I cannot announce what is the new minimum wage, but let's say the new minimum wage, 1,008 for discussion purposes. So now, when the government announces 1,008, for example, you will need to increase or shall I say, you got to push up your minimum rate to 1,008. So those people below 1,008, you got to push up to 1,008. Now, what happens to those employees currently earning 1,008? So it'll sound unfair to them, right? I've been working for 1 year, I'm 1,008. Now, this new guy just finished SPM, he just joined us today, he's also paid 1,008. So, how? So both of them are compressed in this region. So we call this a compression effect. So what some companies do, so the new employees, you have to pay 1,008 because the law says minimum wage, for example, is 1,008. But this group of people, what do they need to do? Some companies will move those who are currently 1,008, they move them away, maybe 1,009 or 1,850 or whatever. Now, you can do that. But remember this, if you do this across board, the C and D performers, those who are average performer, poor performer, if you move them, we are not being smart. My advice is only move the A and B performers. Those who are meeting your targets, those who exceed targets, you pay them. But if you move the C performer, if you move the D performer, today, 70% of your headache, correct me if I'm wrong. If it's yes, you tell me yes. 70% of your headache is created, is caused by the C and D performers. I'm very sure in most cases, right? So if the C and D performers are giving you the most headache, why do you want to give them an adjustment? A smart company, a smart leadership, a smart HR would only move those who are A and B performer. Those C and D, sorry lah. Your C what? Your D what? Right? So for you, no. You want increment? Give me an A. Give me a B. You want C? If you're C and D, sorry. Right? So when you make adjustment like this, my advice to you is only adjust the A and B. Now, it's not about fairness, right? Let's not talk about fairness, because when I talk to employees, companies, why do you give the C performer, right? C, a C performer. 3 years ago, C, last year, C, this year, C, C. What do you want to see? You're paying him 3,000 ringgit a month, or maybe 2,000 ringgit a month, but he is basically cheating you. He's only giving you 2,000. I mean, he's supposed to work 8 hours a day, but he works 4 hours a day. MC here, there, etc. But you're blindly paying him full salary. He's not even meeting your minimum targets, but you're paying him salary. So who's being cheated here? You. But here, you are kesian dia lah. Tak apalah, kesian. Right? Never mind lah, we give lah, kesian. But he's not even bothered to work hard. Tomorrow he gives you a headache. Don't go running around asking how to manage people with disciplinary issues. Right? So the C and D, in my opinion, do not deserve the adjustment. A and B, please adjust them. Take care of your A and B. Now, Section 2 says about definition of wages. What is the meaning of wages? Wages means what? There's 2 components in wages. Where can you find? Section 2 of Employment Act. Wages means basic wages, basic salary, gaji pokok. That's minimum wage. And all other payments in cash. So of course, you're not paying him cash, okay, here 200, you're paying him through the bank, right? That's called payment in cash. So basic salary and all other payments that you pay the employee for the work done. He do the work, you pay him. All these are considered wages, right? But it does not include A, B, C, D, E, F. So if you provide house, not included. If you pay him EPF, not included. If he's going to go traveling, he travels, he claims back the traveling allowance, not included. But transport is wages, traveling is not. Or if you pay him some money because he's going to incur some expenses to perform the job, right? That is not wages. Gratuity is not. Annual bonus is not. When you pay bonus, that is not wages. So if any item that you pay, it's part of A, B, C, D, E, F, it is not wages, you do not need to include into your ORP calculation. When you calculate OT, you don't include item A, B, C, D, E, F. Anything that you pay, if it's not A, not B, not C, not D, not E, not F, it is wages. For example, meal allowance, it is wages. Earlier on, part A, when you provide food, you supply food, not cash, not you're giving allowance, you're supplying the food. There's a plate, there's rice on it. That is not wages. But if you give the employee meal allowance, it has got to go into your ORP. Hardship allowance, chemical allowance, attendance allowance, transport allowance, all this is part of wages. Right? Now, let me tell you something that many may not be aware of. When we say annual bonus, some companies, they give 1 month bonus to all employees. That is not wages. Or either it's contractual bonus or maybe performance-based bonus, based on company's performance, everybody get 1 month, everybody get 2 months. That is not wages. But if your annual bonus, it is determined by individual performance. John, he was given 2005 bonus. Sarah was given 3002. So different people get different bonus because you base on their personal performance. That is wages, right? So you got to split the bonus. Anything that is wages, anything that is based on their performance, not company, but individual, that is considered work done, that is wages. So remember this, if you're paying employees different bonuses based on their performance, you got to include into your ORP. So if you are not sure, now I've told you this, go and find out, get clarification, and if you are paying bonus based on individual performance, get it rectified, right? Go and do whatever you need to do to ensure that you are in compliance. Now, first schedule. So this is so important that every HR practitioner should know. So now, on and off, we do ask, okay, who is entitled to overtime? So the common answer given, above 4,000, right? If you're earning above 4,000, you're entitled to OT. Now, that is not the right answer, or shall I say, that is not the complete answer. When you look at first schedule, which is somewhere at the back of EA, it says this: those employees who are manual labor, those who are operating or maintaining any mechanically propelled vehicle, those who are supervising the jaga operator, jaga another manual labor, right? So this group on the left-hand side, whether they're earning above 4, below 4, it does not matter. This group, if you have a lorry driver earning 10,000, he is entitled to OT. He is entitled to termination benefit, right? So this group. Now, for those people who are in other categories, for example, HR, finance, purchasing, sales, R&D, quality, engineering, customer service. Now, this group are under others, right? So under others, if you're earning up to 4, OT has got to be paid. If they work on public holiday, you got to pay them public holiday. But those people who are earning above 4, I call this the red box. That's why whenever you ask questions in Facebook or in WhatsApp group, I will always refer to the green box and red box. So those in the red box, if they work on public holiday, you can tell them, I give you replacement leave. I give you a 200 ringgit cash allowance. But those people in the green box, if they work on public holiday, you must pay them public holiday rate. Even though the employee says, tak apalah boss, you give me replacement leave. Answer is no. They got to be paid times 2, times 3. I think you all should know what is it. You want to give them extra annual leave, or you want to call it replacement leave, that is up to you. But those people in the green box, if they work on public holiday, the public holiday rate that you must pay as per Employment Act, 2 times ORP, 3 times your hourly rate of pay if it's extra hours, that has got to be paid. Those people in the red box, you discuss with them. Similarly, if you terminate those employees in the green box, you got to pay termination benefit. But those of you all listening today, I believe most of you are in HR or maybe admin side. So if you are earning above 4,000, if the company were to terminate you because company business not doing well, the company retrench you, for those people in the red box, termination benefit, that provision doesn't apply to you. That means the company can say, okay, dear HR, thank you so much for your last service for the last 3 years. Company closing down, I give you a final pay, I'll pay your notice period, your annual leave, that's it, finish. So if you ask them, hey, where's my termination benefit? Your category, if you're earning above 4, if you're in the red box, termination benefit doesn't apply to you, right? So this is the first schedule. You must know what is the first schedule. So if someone asks you, or if you ask someone, who do not entitled to OT, and if the answer given above 4,000, the answer is incomplete. I will only give half mark. Because why? Those who are doing manual labor, those who are, they run mechanically propelled vehicles, etc., or those who engage supervisor, who jaga another operator, they are in the green box. So be careful. Sometimes you may hire a manager to look after operators or technicians who are considered manual labor. That manager may fall in the green box. So please write this down, go and investigate further, do your research, seek clarification from Labour Department, and if you're not in compliance, please rectify it. So, yeah, I've already gone through, so I'll skip this. I've gone through just now. And let me speak about public holiday, right? This is something interesting. Now, for Peninsular Malaysia, I've added, of course, Sabah, Sarawak, but let me cover on Peninsular Malaysia. For Peninsular Malaysia, there are 11, you must provide minimum 11 public holiday. The 5 public holiday that is compulsory, National Day, which I mean our Hari Merdeka, the King's birthday, the state ruler or the state Yam Tuan or the state Yang di-Pertua's birthday, the Workers' Day, Labor Day, like what has happened recently, 1st of May, and finally Malaysia Day. So these 5 must. And, right, and whatever holidays declared by the Prime Minister at federal level, that is Section 8, you must also observe. So in other words, so those companies that observe minimum public holiday, so I'm sure many of you all observe minimum. So what is your minimum holiday? If you tell me 11 is incomplete, half mark. Your minimum public holiday is 11 plus Section 8. So if Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, if he announces, declares a public holiday for some reason, one day, like what happened in during Raya, that means this year, the minimum holiday is 12, not 11 anymore, right? Let's say in November, for some reason, there's some special occasion, the federal government announces another holiday. You must observe. So your minimum holiday, it's 13 because 11 plus Raya this year plus 1 in November. So 11 plus 1 plus 1, 13. This is for, federal holidays. And so for state holidays, right, let me go to Section 60D. So if you look at it, it says that the 5 plus Section 8. Now, any holiday declared by the federal government, that means the Prime Minister, that is Section 8, all companies must observe. Whether your contract or your policy says yes or no, it does not matter. All companies must observe Section 8 holiday. Now, Section 9 holiday is declared by the state government. For example, Johor, if they want to declare a special holiday, that is under Section 9. Or Penang wants to declare a special holiday, that is under Section 9. So if the state government declares a holiday, should you observe? Now that goes back to your company policy. If your contract says that the company observes all holiday, then any holiday declared by the by the state government, you must also observe. But if your policy or your contract, usually we fall back to contract. If your contract says company only observes 11 holidays, then if the state government announces, you don't need to follow. You don't need to observe. But if your contract says the company observes all holiday, you got to observe all holiday, right? And so let me just go back a little bit. So for Peninsular Malaysia, what is the minimum public holiday? Look at the bottom, 11 plus Section 8. In Sarawak, Sarawak has 18 public holidays, plus whatever the state government declare. Sabah has 15 public holidays, plus whatever the state government declare. So you want more public holidays? Marilah kita berhijrah ke negeri Sarawak. 18 public holidays. And let me also share this with you. The compulsory holidays. Remember that 5 holidays? Merdeka, Hari Malaysia, the King's birthday, the YDP or the Sultan's birthday, and Labor Day. So these 5 holidays must be observed on the same day. If King's birthday is going to be on 1st June, you must observe. But if any of these 5 holidays falls on a rest day, then the next working day must be the replacement holiday. So for example, if let's say the King's birthday falls on a Sunday, Sunday is your rest day. Rest day stays. Rest day kekal, you don't move the rest day left and right. Rest day stays. The mandatory public holiday, which is the King's birthday in this case, will be on Monday. If your rest day is Thursday, then the King's birthday must be observed on the next working day, which is a Friday. So there's a replacement public holiday. And, what about the other 6? You know, out of 11, 5 plus 6. The other 6, you can move to any other day. But there's a condition. I'll come to that in a short while. And Section 60D1A of Employment Act says that before your before 2026 starts, you need to publish the calendar, the holiday for 2026. Which holiday, what day, before the year starts. So that means 2026 calendar must be published as late, paling lewat, latest 31st December 2026. So if the Labour Department will come and inspect, where is your calendar? Don't have. No problem. Maximum fine, 50,000 ringgit. Right? Any offences, the max fine, or shall I say the fine, not exceeding 50,000 ringgit. Sample available in the forum. Now, the 5 mandatory holiday, you must observe the next working day. No need to ask employee, no need to negotiate, no need. Must be the next day. But the remaining 6 holidays, Wesak, Chinese New Year, Deepawali, Hari Raya, Christmas, for example, you can observe another day, not on the same day. But you must get agreement from the employee. So company cannot suka-suka on their own. Okay lah, you know what, Wesak, we changed to September lah. Supposed to be in June or May, 31st May. Oh no, we changed to December lah. Company cannot do that. Because why? Employment Act says that it must be, by agreement between that means the company, the employer and the employee must agree. So company tak boleh dengan, on your own you decide, I'm the boss, I can change. Unfortunately, you can't, because Employment Act says that by agreement. Right? Now, this could be something shocking as well. If employee falls sick on public holiday, let's say today is public holiday, they get an MC, Section 60D 1B says that you must give them another holiday as a replacement. So for example, Wesak, employee calls, boss, today I MC lah, boss. I'm not feeling well, I got an MC. On Wesak, and you observe, if the employee falls sick on a public holiday, you are required to replace the public holiday. So on the day they remain MC, they get public holiday, right? So this is something that you got to take note of. And so who is eligible for pay on public holiday? If they work on public holiday, you got to pay them the public holiday rate. So those in the green box, you must pay them. You cannot replace with annual leave. But those in the red box, for example, HR earning above 4, or finance earning above 4, your planning officer who does planning earning above 4, they are in the red box. For them, you can discuss with them, you can give them replacement leave, you can give them a kiss and say thank you for working yesterday, right? You can give them McDonald's voucher, that's up to you. But those in the green box, you must pay them the public holiday rate. 2 times ORP, 3 times HRP if they work more than the usual hours. So if a public holiday falls on a rest day, right, you must replace the public holiday. The rest day, same rest day. So you don't move rest day. If Sunday is the rest day, you don't move Sunday to Monday and observe the public holiday on Sunday. Sunday remains the rest day. You move the public holiday to the next working day, right? For those mandatory. In fact, if you can do for all. But those non-mandatory, Raya, Wesak, Chinese New Year, you can move to any other day, but you must get agreement with the employee. If the public holiday falls on a Saturday, for some of you, Saturday is off day, no replacement, because Employment Act recognizes Saturday also as a working day. So working day, no replacement. But if a public holiday falls on sick leave, if today is, suddenly, you never know, it happens, right? Employee falls sick on a public holiday, that public holiday must be replaced, right? Bukan Arul cakap, Employment Act 1955 says, of course, if 2 public holiday falls on, today's already public holiday, another public holiday falls on it, that means on the same day, like what happened quite recently, I can't recall when was that. So when 2 holidays falls on the same day, one is today, the other is tomorrow, or any other day, if the employee and you agree to move, right? If the public holiday falls on the day employees on annual leave, then you got to replace the public holiday. I know some companies, what they practice, if the public holiday falls on annual leave, they'll tell employee leave, your annual leave you cancel, you stay as public holiday, right? Some do that to, for administrative purposes. So this is a simple overview of what happens when public holiday falls on a rest day, off day. Now, where do I get this from? Employment Act. You got to spend time to read. Now, I know many of you all read. I got to give you, Oscar Award, Academy Award for reading. The best reader. What do you all read? Facebook, YouTube, TikTok videos. How many of you all read Employment Act? How many of you all read the articles that we write in Facebook? How many of you all read, the cases that goes to the industrial court or that comes out of industrial court? Many don't. But Facebook, YouTube, they can sit down hours scrolling endlessly after 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, morning, still scrolling. But us to read a case, many cannot. I give articles to read. I mean, those are members of the forum. Give you articles to read. Oh, sorry lah, no time, busy, etc. But got enough time to plan for holidays. Holidays, we can plan. Where to go, when to go, where to stay, which hotel, what to visit, etc. We can take hours to plan for holiday. But us to read, oh sorry lah, no time. But can go Starbucks, can go movie, can go Sunway Pyramid, jalan-jalan, have fun. But reading cannot. Now, that habit is a bad habit. If we want to grow, if you want to grow the career ladder, you want to be a manager, senior manager, director, CHRO, you have to read. No excuses. Because we don't read, whenever issues happen, we run like a headless chicken, running around looking for answers. That cannot be the way. So now, you all know Vesak is coming very soon, and Vesak is on 31st of May, and the King's birthday is on 1st of June. We have shared this scenario table in Facebook, our Facebook group. So those of you, if you don't see it, then you're not reading. My advice to all of you all, those of you all, if you're already at a certain level, you're quite well versed, etc., fantastic, good. But those of you all, if you're still learning, you still don't know many of this, please spend at least half an hour a day going through the discussions in Facebook. No excuses. No time is a convenient excuse. We got time to call, we got time to jalan-jalan, lepak, watch Netflix. What is the latest video? Which actor sleeping with which actor, right? What's the gossip there, here? All that we can follow. But us to read Facebook, our Facebook group discussion, postings, half an hour a day, no time. Right? But can go Yamcha. Right? So please read, because reading really, really helps. So what is going to happen? Vesak is going to fall on 31st of May, and 1st June, Monday, it's the King's birthday. So let's look at the first table. Let's look at row number 2. Right? Vesak happened to be on a Sunday. Sorry. Let's look at row number 1, the first row. Sunday is a rest day is a rest day. So Vesak will go to Tuesday because Monday is the King's birthday. Now, if you, by right or by default, Vesak, you must observe on Tuesday. Can you move Vesak to Thursday or Friday or next month? You can, with agreement with the employee. Okay, so that's a little bit on the public holiday scenario. Now, this is important. I'm going to share with you some shocking facts. So please listen, right? If you don't listen, you're rugi. So put the phone down, please. Right? Those of you who are scrolling phone, like hero, I can do 2 things one go. I'm an excellent multitasker. But then half the things I'm saying, tak masuk kepala. So please put your phone down and listen. How does law, our employment laws, right? Regulation laws, how does it come into existence? The first is easy. Parliament approves the Employment Act, right? When you look at Employment Act, how many days minimum leave? 8 days. How many days public holiday? 11 days. How many days maternity? 7 days. Paternity? 90 days. How many days of hospitalization leave? 60 days. Where do we get all this? Employment Act says so. Easy. What is the minimum retirement age? 60. Easy. Where? The Minimum Retirement Age Act. But do you also know there are also regulations, orders issued by the minister, right? For example, what is the minimum wage? 1,007. Where do you find this 1,007? Employment Act? No. It is in another document called Minimum Wage Order, issued by the National Wages Consultative Council, not in Employment Act per se. Termination layoff regulations. If you terminate an employee, You got to pay 10 days. For example, if company closed down, retrench, what is the amount of termination benefit? What is the calculation like? That comes from the termination and benefit regulations. Not employment per se, the regulations that is created out of this act. Now, there's also another one called Employment Regulations 1957. Some of you all may not know it, right? I've been, sometimes you say, mulut pun sudah berbuih, I've, always repeated. I think about 2 weeks ago, somebody called me up, then I have to scold them, no choice. Despite being in the forum, they still don't know. That means not reading. So, Employment Regulation 1957 says what? There are many regulations. One of those important ones one of the items there, if a female employee is pregnant, they deliver a child, right? They go for maternity. You need to maintain a maternity register. It's a paper document, not in your payroll system. Okay, Siti went for maternity leave paid in the system, done. Answer is no. You are supposed to maintain a maternity register, right? You're supposed to maintain a maternity register. Let me just show it to you. So get this book. Get this book and page 179. So this is the maternity register that you are supposed to maintain. It's manual, no automatic, not in system, etc. You are supposed to maintain this maternity register for every female employee that goes on maternity, right? A 2-page form. Employee has got to sign, not just in the system, update maternity leave, go, right? If you don't do this, no problem, maximum fine 50,000 ringgit. If you got money, don't do it. Compliance, cheaper, expensive. So if you don't do it, please start doing it. It is written in the Employment Regulation 1957, which many of us or many of you all may not be aware of. What about pay slips? I know today technology, every pay slip is all soft copy. What does Employment Regulation says? Your pay slip must be in hard copy. If you want to keep in soft copy, apply for permit or apply for exemption to keep in soft copy. So if you don't do, no problem. Just prepare 50,000 ringgit. In case you're fined, the fine is not more than 50,000 ringgit. So all this comes from employment regulations. If you have a branch, HQ is in KL, the branch is in Johor, Johor Bahru. All the employees' files are kept in KL office, but there are some people working in Johor, you got an office in Johor. Employees' records are supposed to be kept at their place of work, not HQ. If you want to keep it HQ, can apply for exemption untuk menyimpan daftar pekerja di ibu pejabat. That's a permit for that. I mean, there's a process to apply for that, right? All this is stated where? Employment Regulations 1957. So you see, just one issue, maximum fine, or shall I say fine not more than 50,000. Another issue, fine not more than 50,000. So I can tell you, if I'm Labour Department, if I come and pay a visit today at your office, I think I will make a lot of money from you today, right? Easy to find offense. So please start going through the Employment Regulations 1957, right? So these are some of those. Now, the first bubble and the third bubble, easy. You read, you see it, interpret, no problem. But case law, right? Case law. For example, cases that go to industrial court, the court makes a decision, that becomes what I call as a case law. Contract. 1 year contract, 1 year contract, 1 year contract, renew. Now, this could be deemed as a permanent employment. Who says so? We learned this from the Han Chiang School case. Employer was given contract. I tell you, companies love contract, many lah. I do not know why. Maybe they thought contract, I can bully the employee. I don't want you. Thank you so much for your service. Your contract expired, please go. But the employee can challenge you, right? I've been on a contract for the last 4 years. Renew. I never asked for renewal. The company gave me a letter, you're renewed, right? In this scenario, if the job is still there, then the court could say that this is not a genuine fixed term contract. So these are cases, this is where we learn from the Hanshan School case. Retrenchment. Now, if you look at Employment Act, there's nothing in Employment Act says that the last in, those who came in last in the same category of employment, same job category, the last one should go out first, last in, first out. Where do we find this? Employment Act? No. But the court, when they make a decision, they tell companies, you should first remove the last in, first out, those who came in last. Let's say 2 operators, same job capacity, right? One came in 2 years ago, one came in 5 years ago. You're supposed to remove the 2 years ago first, retrench the 2 years first. Last in, first out, right? Where? Case laws. So you have to read all this, right, in order to know. Now, let me ask you this. Termination layoff regulations. If if the fixed term contract expire, let's say the employee worked for 3 years, 1 year, 1 year, 1 year contract expire. Do you need to pay termination benefit? Right? Now, if we refer to termination layoff regulations, okay, this is going to be another shocking thing. So please be ready. Please sit down in the chair. Don't collapse. Then don't blame me for you collapsing. Okay, page 235. Okay, sorry, you don't have this book. We can buy nice branded clothes, go Sunway Pyramid, spend 5 hours looking for the best t-shirt, which brand, but beli buku RM30 tak boleh. So now, the termination layoff regulations, 1950, right? These are regulations. So what it says, an employee shall be entitled to termination benefit for any, for whatever reason, kecuali, except, otherwise then, retirement, termination because of misconduct, and company closure, right? So in other words, what the termination layoff regulation says that an employee shall be entitled to termination benefit for any reason, untuk semua sebab, kecuali retirement, resignation, business closure. Retirement, resignation, termination because of misconduct. So for these 3 reasons, no termination benefit. Retirement, resignation, termination because of misconduct. So untuk 3 sebab ni, tak payah bayar termination benefit, faedah penambatan kerja. For any other reason, you must pay. Poor performer, 5 years working, so-called poor performer, you terminate him. Under this regulation, it says that tak terkecuali. Medical, you got to pay. 3-year contract expire, you got to pay. But many of you don't pay. Employees who don't know their rights. So you're lucky. You can still dance around because employees don't know their rights. But the moment employee knows their rights, they ask you, how come you're not paying me termination benefit when my contract expire? Because the layoff regulations did not exclude end of fixed term contract, from termination benefit. You got to pay. There's a recent case that went to the High Court or Court of Appeal. So please read. We have shared this in Facebook. So if you don't read, that's your problem. And performance, right? Later part, when I talk about breakthrough, I want to touch on this as well. If somebody is a C performer, why do you give increment? Why do you give bonus? These are the same guys who are giving you headache. The same guys who will go back at 5 sharp. If your contract is 6 o'clock, 6 sharp he goes back. Do minimum. But you give increment. Tak apalah, kesian. Inflation. Kesian lah, inflation. Or you know what, they're working for last 20 years. Kesian, we give. But these are the same guys. If the house is on fire, the company is on fire, he'll be still having coffee in a coffee shop. There's a crisis, he'll say, forget about it lah, what for? Tak payah lah. Go team building, let's go team building, go banana boat, have fun, etc. Monday MC first. You created these creatures. They don't come like that. We created them. Why? I'll explain later. So, when you give increment and bonus, do not give to the C performer. Because when you do, you are depriving the A and B of a higher increment, higher bonus. Let's say you give the C performer 3 months, 1 month bonus or half month. Now, if you don't give them, you take this half month, you give 0.25 to A, you give 0.25 to B, the A will be even more happy. They'll be even more happy to work harder. They deserve it. So every time you give an increment to the C, D memang I know you all don't give. Every time you give increment to the C, you know, you are the Maha Zalim. Why? Because we deprive the A and B of a higher increment, higher bonus. When you select employees, please also don't just blindly, you know what, okay lah, this guy working long for us. No. Loyalty does not necessarily mean they deserve an increment. They perform. You got to see their potential. You got to see their performance. You got to see the aspiration. Only then you promote. If you don't promote, later part they cannot perform, then you'll talk about PIP. Then if you demote them, if he's not happy, he's going to file a case against you. If you win the case, congratulations. If you lose the case, 24 months plus. So it's nice to promote. Everybody likes to do the good job. You know, dear so-and-so, congratulations, here you're promoted. Tomorrow he can't perform, you will talk about PIP. So why ask for trouble? Promote those who are able to meet expectation. Similarly, when it comes to new hire, right? Some of you, when you go for employment law training, I want to learn about how to manage probationers, how to deal with difficult probationers, how to deal with problematic probationers. Now, my question to all of you all is this. Why do you want to learn how to deal with difficult probationers if you can avoid hiring them? Prevention or cure? Which is better? Many of you all, your mindset is cure. Oh, I got issue. How to resolve this? Firefighting, how to resolve this? But change your mindset. How can I prevent from hiring a poor probationer? The process starts with JD. I can't run through the process. We don't have enough time. But the process starts through job description. But when we take a shortcut manner, copy, cut, paste, chat GPT, JD, chat GPT, okay lah, nice. This is like how, the way when you copy, cut, paste, you use chat GPT, the JD is like how you go to a 5-star restaurant, you open the menu, you see the menu, rice base, don't know with coconut free, char kway teow. Instead of saying char kway teow, you have one long sentence. That's how many JDs are. JD should explain the exact job. There's a methodology to write JD, which I can't cover now, but how do you talk to the manager? How do you get plan B, option B from the manager, right? Job is not easy to hire, but a smart HR will ask the manager, what is your plan B if you don't get plan A? If you don't get the so-called the right fit or the best fit, what is plan B? So when should you activate plan B? All this got to be discussed, right? Not just, what does a highly paid recruitment clerk do? Hey, Arul, my engineer resigned. I'm going to send you JD. Can you find me a replacement? Okay. Take the JD, pop, job straight. Never review, never clarify, never edit, just put job straight. Itulah highly paid HR clerk, a highly paid recruitment clerk. But a talent acquisition expert, you all call expert by yourself, right? Expert. Mr. John, Mr. So-and-so, Mr. John, I got your JD. Can I come and see you for a while? I would like to go through the JD, right? So sit down with him, go through line by line, here, edit here, there, etc. After 20 minutes, the JD that you have and the JD that he gave you, not exactly the same anymore. And Mr. John, okay, cost analyst is so difficult to hire. We've been doing it for the last 5 years. Not easy to hire. After 3 months, if I cannot find, we need to go for plan B, option B. What can we do? A first-class degree holder in finance can, as a plan B. If not, you can wait for the next 5 years or next 1 year. You're not going to get a cost analyst. We all know. So you all know what are the job that is difficult. What is a job that is not easy to hire? So ask for plan B. 3 months, don't have plan B. In fact, for me, you got to have a hiring metrics. You all don't have hiring metrics. Hiring metrics means easy job, moderate, and difficult. First 3 months, first 6 months, first 9 months. When to activate Headhunter, when to activate this, when to activate plan B. You must have a hiring metrics. If you don't have, then we are all like, I tell you this, if I come and visit some of you all, I'll bring popcorn, bring a chair, sit down, I'll watch Train to Busan. I'll see a zombies all running around. What to do here, there? You got to have a clear strategy. No running around. So why is HR job so difficult? Because we never bothered to build proper strategy, systematic foundation, right? So ask the manager what's plan B. So then go through it. During interview, right? There's a 5 minutes phone call rule that I always share. Call the candidate 5 minutes. Ask the hiring manager to call the candidates 5 minutes. That 20 minutes reviewing the JD, 5 minutes you call, 5 minutes the hiring manager call. Now you call for interview. I am very sure if that candidate come for interview, sure to pass. But during interview, what do you do? John, where do you come from? I come from Shell. Why you ask? The CV already written Shell. How long were you in Shell? 5 years is there. So what kind of interview is this? You should be asking, John, thank you for coming for interview today. Now you are a project engineer. Can you walk me through a project that you've done in the past, from the start till the end? So you listen, take notes. Then once it's done, ask him, so John, how did you manage crisis? How did you manage difficult employees? If you're given this opportunity to do so, how will you do it differently? What was the stakeholders' reaction, when you had this issue? How did you counter that? What is your counter measure? How did you So you keep asking like FBI, like how MACC questioned them, you question them. Because candidates, when they come for interview, they are wearing an invisible mask. Your job is to unmask them, to know the real them. Not asking questions like, you can do OT boleh buat yes sir, 3 back suit, boleh. Masuk kerja, OT tak boleh. You cannot force me, right? So, you got to ask questions, the right questions, competency-based questions. What do you call this? Behavioral-based questions. Now, but if you don't train yourself, have you gone for training on behavioral-based interview? No. So, please go and get yourself trained on behavioral-based interview, competency-based interview, and then train your managers how to do interview. Now, these are the kind of investment, don't take discount. Right? Oh, no lah, no money, so I don't train. But team building, we got money. We can set aside 100,000, 50,000, 80,000, team building. Go have fun, come back to square one. But invest in training to train the managers on competency training, tak ada duit. Right? Then how? You cincai this process. Your manager don't do a behavioral interview training, or you don't do, simply bring him in, all shock sendiri, shock, come in, welcome. We, our company, we got the best employee, etc. Tomorrow he cannot perform, your nightmare starts. So, what is Toyota's concept? Do things right the first time. If you do things right the first time, your subsequent processes become much more easier. Probation management. Listen to this carefully. When a candidate reports to work, you give him JD targets, assignment, etc., you review. End of 3 months, for example, probation 3 months. End of 3 months, targets not met. Or he has got efficiency issue, competency issue, aptitude issue, or attitude issue. Out. No extension. No extension. Because if you extend people with any of these issues, competency, attitude, okay, you know what, John, sorry lah, we cannot extend, we cannot confirm you, we're going to extend your probation. Another 3 months, because you got attitude issue, attendance issue. Next 3 months, John is going to be a good boy. Every morning, good morning, sir, how are you, good morning, etc. So after 3 months, confirm, he becomes the devil, your nightmare starts. So, if any of these issues, sorry, John, please go. Right? Of course, if they meet all the targets, attitude, all okay, good, no problem. But when do you extend probation? Today, many of y'all extend probation blindly. Right? No performance, no good, extend. This one no good, extend. Every month you extend is waste of money. So when you switch off lights, when you go for lunch, you switch off lights, you are basically bullshitting yourself, bullshitting your bosses. Why? How much you save by switching off electricity during lunch? 200 ringgit per month, 300 ringgit per month. So we save 200 to show the boss, I save 200. No. But we extend probation, pay 1 month salary. Extend another month. So to me, long extension period it's a waste of time, waste of money. Every month, 3 months, review. No good, go. Review, okay, confirm. But there could be a scenario where the candidate got no issues with attitude, no issues with aptitude, no competency issue, no efficiency issue, but targets not met. Why targets not met? If anybody can answer me this, the first answer, we will courier this book to you. Why targets not met? No issues with aptitude, no issues competency, no issues with efficiency, etc. The 4 items, no issue. But why he cannot meet target? The first answer, you get this book. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What is it? What could be the scenario? Okay, almost there, but that's not the answer I'm looking for. Why? Almost there, but that's not the answer. No KPI set, no. Think harder. What is the issue? Nope. Come on, think harder. Guys, think harder. Nope. All of you are quite close, but you're not there yet. Nope, not realistic target. I'm not saying all the answers wrong, but not the answer I'm looking for. Again, not the best answer, so I'm going to save this book. Sometimes the targets are beyond their influence. I've done what I could, but I cannot fulfill because that is beyond my influence. So, for example, you hired a turbine engineer to sell turbine. Huge machine, cost thousands, hundreds of thousands. So you hired him as a sales manager. Okay, your job is sell a turbine. So what he does, he learn the product, do the market survey, go and pitch to customers, go to all the oil and gas company, sell, or all the companies sell, and then hey, John, your product is good, good. Okay, but we need to go through a tender process. Tender takes 3-4 months, maybe even longer. So is it John's fault? So you must know, when should we measure, write this down please, when should we measure output, when should we measure milestone? 2 different things. When should we measure output, when should we measure milestone? Certain job, during probation, you measure milestone. Things that takes long time. You hire an R&D engineer, right? R&D engineer is supposed to come up with some new products. It takes months or years. How do you assess his probation? 3 months. That's when you look at milestones. But you hire an operator whose job within 1-2 weeks you can see it, right? You hire a web developer, right? You hire him today, within 1 week, you can see the basic web. So those items you can measure output. Certain jobs you measure milestone. So extension of probation is only for selective and deserving cases. One time, and after that you got to decide yes or no. If the employee don't perform during probation, can you demote him? You can't. Look at right at the bottom of the screen. In the case of Ng Tek Fei, the court says what? Demotion, an employee cannot be demoted to a position they tak pegang before. That means they never held the position before, you cannot demote them. It says there. So you can't demote. Now, sometimes HR, even though I maki harmon you just now, sometimes I know there are times that you cannot, the manager will pressure you. No, I want this guy to be confirmed. Or I don't want this guy. Sometimes you're pressured. I know. What do you do? So you need to speak to your management, explain the whole concept, tell them what can go wrong and what is the cost to the company. So there's a form in the forum, right? If you really want to, make things more stable or make things more firm, there's a form in the forum, and get your MD or your CEO or your head, your company's the boss to say, okay, do this. Any confirmation that the manager wants to confirm, but HR is not confident, fill up the form, ask MD to decide. You also put in your comments. Any probationer that the manager wants to terminate, but you feel is unsafe, because this will end up as a labor dispute, fill up the form, MD to decide. So you are not pressured here. So if the manager says, I want him to confirm, but he said, no, this guy got issues. Okay, as per company policy, fill up this form. Give the form to you, you put your comment, see MD, dear Mr. MD, we have got a case that needs your attention. MD reads, you explain, let him explain. If the MD says, let's confirm him, then do it. If the MD agrees with you that this is not right, cannot confirm. So remember HR, you must know when to pull the MD into the discussion. So there is a form in the forum. I tell you, this all tools that you probably never thought of. Go and download this. It is called Extension of Probation and Confirmation Form. Go and do it. Right? So this is it. Recently, there was a case that went to the court. An IT manager or a web developer was hired, $12,000 salary. First day hired, second day company fired him. How is that so? Because this employee, he misrepresented his capability. He said, I can design web. So company hired. First day, second day, company terminated him because cannot do. Went to the court. The company is lucky because the court says that as a web developer, you can't do. So terminated, because in this case, he misrepresented his ability. But what company failed to do? Company failed to really assess his capability. Sometimes, you know what? We see, we see JD, we get excited. Wow, from big brand, even in the big brand, there are lousy workers. Just because he come from some big names, must be good. Even in big names, there are poor employees. So don't be fooled by big brands. So assess their capability. Ask them questions, right? That's why you have got competency and behavioral interview. Behavior is to gauge their behavior. Competency is to see whether they know the job. So if I'm going to hire you as HR, let's say now, I've got a role as HR, we are looking for HR manager, salary 15,000 ringgit. If you come for interview, I'm going to ask you, so what does Employment Act says about payment of termination benefit? What scenario should I pay? When should I pay? Now, if you cannot answer me, you're out, right? Competency-based interview. Or you can also ask them, now, in domestic inquiry, what are the steps we got to take? Right? So you got to tell them. Now, talking about domestic inquiry, anybody here, you tak pernah see how domestic inquiry? Have you ever seen domestic inquiry? Yes, no? You have seen how it observed? Anybody answers no? Right? Have you all seen how domestic inquiry works? I'll give you an idea. Have you seen how domestic inquiry works? Yes, no? No one? You have not seen how domestic inquiry works? Okay, no. Those of you all, if you say you tak pernah tengok how domestic inquiry works, what do? After this call, we finish in a short while, right? Go and see your boss. Say, boss, today 5 o'clock finishing, the webinar was good. Give your boss 2 thigh slap. Tomorrow, guaranteed, you have DI. You can see how DI runs. Okay, now, I will skip some of these cases because I want you to read for yourself. But I want to just share this form with you. This form you can download from the forum. Simple form. The warning element is already in the form. I like to do all in one, right? So you review every month, one form. 3 months probation, review, decide. So first month review form comes to you. You read the form as HR read. Okay, masuk P file. If the review form got masalah, got problem, hey, John, I saw the review form of your employee. The guy got problem. Okay, next month review, I'll do it together with you. So HR, you must turun padang seawal yang boleh. Not last moment, after 3-4 months, baru you get alerted. Whose fault? The manager's fault, also HR's fault. And because of this approach, this attitude, you put a company at risk. Right? So you got to train your managers, 1 month, 1 review form. Make it as a policy. So they have to do it. When the form comes to you, all okay, confirm. The first month not okay, call the manager, plan out what is the strategy now. As early as end of first month. Not waiting until 3 months over, then you want to react. So all these documents you can find in the forum, Facebook, the policy, the review form, sample letters, performance improvement plan. All these documents, please go and download from the Facebook group. You are there already, go and download it. Now, flexi work arrangement. So remember, Section 60P and Section 60Q says that an employee boleh apply. You tak boleh kata tak boleh, ya. Employee can apply. And when they apply, your job is to see yes or no. If you say yes, good. But within 60 days, the law says so, you must decide yes or no. If it's a no, you must tell them why. Why they cannot. So today, your biggest issue is, not easy to hire people. Not easy, right? Not easy to hire people. Why? Because there are so many options out there. If you don't give flexibility, they may go. What for I work for you? No flexibility, no work from home, no this, long hours, etc. I'd rather go work for somebody else. So it is always good to create some form of flexibility. So do your analysis. Which job tempat kerja boleh diubah suai? Which job you can modify hours? Which job you can modify days? Then decide what kind of model. You want to give them flexi hours? You want to change your shift work? You want to give them part-time work? That is up to you, right? And of course, some of y'all, you may have flexi hours, right? You can come in certain hours, you can go back certain hours, but you must also decide on the core hours. So for example, if you say come at 9, go back at 6, you can come in anytime between 7:30 to 9:30, and then you can go back between 4:30 to 6:30, right? Flexi hour. Masuk awal, keluar awal. Masuk lambat, keluar lambat. Then you have a lunch window between 12 to 2, 1 hour lunch. So then you have your morning core hours and your afternoon core hours. So during these core hours, no keluar masuk, you can arrange meeting these core hours. You can't arrange meeting the green box because people are in and out, right? But red box, they're out for lunch. So the yellow box or the bar, the core hours, that's when you arrange for, meetings. And couple of tips. When you design your flexi work arrangement, the policy is in the forum, a 4-page or 6-page policy. There's also a flexi work application form. All these are good documents. Go and download it, modify it, use it. So some of the things that you must have, set an expiry date, right? Set the guidelines and don't give long term. There's a case, approve 3 months work from home. The first week itself, not answering phone call, not replying emails on time. So why you give 3 months? 1 month, okay, extend, okay, extend. Don't be like a hero, do all this popular decision. 3 months, okay, no problem, 3 months. He got problem, then how are you going to manage? And also this, also put where is the point of origin, point of travel. There's a scenario that has happened. Employee says, can I work from home? The boss say, can. 6 months, boleh, apply. He went back Sarawak, Sabah, sorry. And then the customer call. So the boss say, hey, can you go and see customer? He said, boss, can. I'm in Sarawak. Hey, Sabah, how? Can you pay my flight ticket? So you got to spell out on your policy, if there's any business trip, the point of travel is from the office. And we can cut short. When we said, stop, come back, you must be back tomorrow. So in your policy, in your application form, put this guideline, make sure the employee agree with the guideline. Otherwise, don't approve it. And kalau ada disciplinary issue, no work from home. Performance issue, no. If dekat rumah, dekat office tak boleh, dekat rumah boleh? Cannot. So all this has got to be part of your policy. Don't be a Santa Claus, want to make it everything go happy, go lucky. We want to be seen as the best employer lah. The best employer. Semua boleh. Very flexible, very relaxed. Tomorrow got problem, I want to see how you relax. PIP, right? We discussed this in very detail in the class. So PIP, if the person meets annual performance review, you reward them, you recognize them. If they cannot, you put them through PIP. The yellow box down there is a C, right? Now, if you want to improve your company's performance, discipline, morale, etc., please come up with this, please get this concept, right? First year C, no problem. Second year C, you're not meeting our minimum. Minimum target is always a B. Now, if I hire you, your job is to produce 3,000 pieces of this. What is your minimum KPI? Anyone? If I say, okay, can you join us? Your job, every month, 3,000 pieces you must produce. You say, okay, boleh. So, I bayar you gaji 3 bulan. Sorry, 3,000. So, you do 3,000, I pay 3,000. What is the minimum targets? Anyone? The first answer? First answer, get his book. What is the minimum target? 3,000. Okay, the first reply, can you just get in touch with Yon? Give her your office address. We'll courier this to you in the next few days. Right? Okay. So now, when you hire somebody, their minimum target is 3,000. So why do you accept 2,005? You give a C. The contract says B. So if the employee do C, can you also reduce salary? Cannot, right? How come you accept his reduced output? So who's the fool here? You are the fool. Why? You pay him 3,000 ringgit, but he's giving you 2,000. He's cheating you. But for you, no problem. Team building, come, let's go. Annual increment there. Medical here. Dental here. A bonus here. But he's giving you 2,000. Same guy giving you headache. Same guy giving you disciplinary issues. But you take good care of him. So you all, ladies and gentlemen, tuan, puan, datuk, datin, you all have made your C performer so comfortable in the office. So they remain C forever. Some people will work 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, they go back. These people, 6 sharp, up, they go. But you still take care of them. They rape you, no, but you take care of them. Why do you allow that? So this is where companies have to change your mindset. So I challenge you all, I dare you all. First year C, no problem. Because you're new, you need to learn the process, you need to learn the culture, the system, whatever, etc. Second year C, tak boleh. Because minimum is a B. Same goes to people who are promoted. You are newly promoted. First year B, okay, no, first year C, yeah, you're learning. Second year must be a B. Minimum is a B. If you're C and C again next year, you go to PIP. Because why? When we say performance, right, minimum is a B. When you are C, your performance require improvement. Performance improvement plan. So, if second year is a C, go into PIP. Get them to wake up. Put them in this chamber called PIP. Let them like, oh my God, if I don't do it, I'm going to go out. Let them wake up. So, second year C, go to PIP. Update your policy. After PIP, if they meet, good. If they don't, you demote them or you terminate them. But remember, an employee cannot be demoted to a position they never held before. So this is a sample PIP framework. This is a sample you can choose to follow. You can design your own, etc. So you start PIP, you set the target, you put them through 3 months, maybe 1 month, 1 month, 1 month, 2 months, 2 months, 2 months, or 3. You decide what is the period. The law do not say that it must be 3 months, 6 months, you decide, right? So at the end of the period, if they're okay, good, you graduate. If no, either you demote them or you terminate them. So this rough PIP flow. If the case goes to the court, what does the court want to see? The court wants to see the 6 items on the right-hand side. Clear communication. Communicate clearly. Tell them, not just mulut, surat. Give them time. Don't rush. Give them help. Remind them, warn them, tell them, right? Documentation, very important. Oh, he PIP cannot, etc. Document mana? Oh, tak ada lah. Finish. And be fair. If these 6 items are there, I'm very sure your case is good. In the case of IE project versus Tan Seng, what does the court say? An employer should be very slow. Don't rush. Right? Should be very slow. You must first tell him, warn him, give him opportunity to improve. If you have done all of this and he still cannot, the court says that he may have to go. And as an employer, you have the duty to be scrupulous, be careful, be thorough, be meticulous, follow fair procedure. If you have done all this correctly, the industrial court will not interfere in your decision. So, to me, it's clear cut. And in another case, the court says this. The fact, when they look at all the documents, the fact evidences, the fact shows that the company was slow. That means don't rush. The company did not rush. Court always tells us, take a slower approach. Performance, medical, take a slower approach to terminate them. Misconduct is another. If let's say there's a major misconduct, employee stole, that's it. Habis, tiada maaf bagimu, you go today, right? Or you go after due process. But performance require time to improve. So the company was slow. Don't rush. Give them time. The company told him, what is his weakness? He was given time. The assessment was showed to him. He agreed. He saw the observation, he agreed. The company don't have ABCD metrics, 1.1, 1.2, not a big deal. Company gave support, advised him. So after doing all this, he still cannot perform. Then the court said this, the company was entitled to dismiss him. Company can dismiss him, right? So you must follow procedure. So the 6 items in the orange box, if all these are followed, I'm quite sure you have a good case. Your case is strong. Now, remember I said about career path? You must establish a career path. When an employee come and join you, whether it's an operator, whether it's a technician, you got to tell them, right? Of course, small company, maybe your scenarios are different. But if your company is, your size is quite reasonable, or if you're a bigger company, people want to see, everybody wants to grow. I'm sure you want to grow, right? Once upon a time, some of you all may have joined as a fresh graduate. Finish your diploma degree, you masuk kerja, fresh graduate, or maybe assistant exec, senior exec, you became an AM and whatever, etc. You want to grow. You think the operator don't want to grow? Only you want to grow? You are human? They are robots? No, everybody wants to grow. So what's the career path? Right? Have this, establish it, share it out. Some people say, oh, salary cannot show. Then take out the salary. Right? What is grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4? Right? Share it. The soft copy of this table is in forum. And I want to share a concept. Right? Now, hiring blue collar easy? Not easy. Retaining blue collar easy? Not easy. Sometimes your blue collar don't tell you this, or some employer don't tell you this. When you pay 1,008, 2,000, 2,005, what is this? It's not much, right? Bayar kereta habis, bayar this one habis. So sometimes, right, some employees, sometimes they take MC, not because they take MC, not because they're sick, right? Because they got no more money in the pocket. So today no more money, tak ada duit already, tak ada duit. So what they do, they take MC. Boss, today sakit lah. They drive Grab, earn 300 ringgit, 400 ringgit, depending. Johor, in KL, you can earn about 400 per day. Go and drive Grab one whole day, earn 400 ringgit. Tomorrow they come back to work because got money now. Sometimes they don't come to work. You never know what they're doing. They are doing Grab, Food Panda, Lala Move. Why? Because I can go and work, earn 200-300, come back. I got money now. So it happens. I'm sure many of you all remember those days when you earn 2,000 ringgit. Not much what? Pay out at, don't know what time pay out. Within 10 minutes, open up your app, pay house, pay car, etc. Money finish. Next 30 days, say prayer. So what you can do, whether it's a blue collar, especially people salary below 5K, introduce the mid-month concept. A mid-month concept is where by middle of the month, let's say tomorrow's 15, right? Tomorrow, once they've completed their work, they've already earned 50% of their basic salary. So what you can do, on the month, you pay them 50%. So for example, if you look at the table on the right-hand side, by the mid-month, they've already earned 850 of their basic salary. Pay them. Either you pay the 850 or maybe pay 500 or 600. Pay something reasonable, right? I would encourage operator, you give 700 or 600. Don't worry, they run away. The mindset, the problem with our people and you and your bosses is the mindset. Oh, no. What if people run away? If I give this mid-month, what if they run away? Now, how many will run away? All the 100? No, you have maybe 3 or 4 run away. So why do we want to punish the majority? The other 95%, they are not going to run away. They're going to work. They are there for you. But because of this 5%, you're so scared they'll run away, take the 5 and run away. Actually, I'm very happy they run away. You know why? They are what I call as, silent killer in your organization. Take the money, run, it's okay. But the 95%, they are there working hard. So don't punish them because of this 5%. they will appreciate it. Mid-month, you pay them this advance, at least they got some money to survive, right? And those who take run away, let them run, it's okay, don't worry about it. Take care of the 95%. But today, most companies, when they do policy, etc., they are so focused on the 5%, and what happens? The 95% gets penalized. Don't do that, right? Now, let me tell you what is the beauty of paying mid-month. You can set a criteria. If last month, if you got no show, you came in late, no mid-month this month. I tell you, you'll start to see behavioral change. People would want mid-month. So to get the mid-month, they'll take care of the attendance. Now, this is what I call as breakthrough. So you want to change behavior, you want to improve attendance, not giving 100 ringgit. You know, some companies, they give 100 ringgit attendance allowance. It's not working. You spend time to calculate, because all these have done manually, calculate, etc., get a boss approved, upload, payout. Only 10-15% are enjoying the 100 ringgit. Not everyone. So I feel it's useless. It's one of the, I would say, a very outdated, ineffective mechanism. Attendance allowance. You are wasting 2-3 hours a month to calculate attendance allowance. To me, I would rather you increase mid-month. Extra work? Why you worry about extra work? Just pay out. Pay slip one time. Don't calculate. Just look at last month. Qualified, you give. Not qualified, don't give. I rather do this than spending hours and hours and hours. People go, exit interview, keep hiring. I rather do this. This is just extra 2 hours effort in a month. Compared to hiring, people not coming to work, giving warning letter, show cause letter, etc. So think of breakthrough ideas. Part-time employment. There's a regulation called part-time employment, right? We don't do it. Or part-time, no, part-time. But do you know you can create a flexible workforce using the part-time employment strategy? For example, if somebody is going for dialysis, they will apply half day here, annual leave here, cut here, no pay here, there, etc. Perandakan your payroll. If you need to go dialysis in the afternoon, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, why not convert to part-time? You come to work every day, half day, I give you 50% salary, or maybe 60% salary. Those people who are about to retire, some of these retirees, right? No hard offense for those who are retiring. Some of them, you don't need 100%. You just need maybe 50% of them, but you're paying 100 ringgit. Some of them may not be working full-time, may not be working. They're there, but they're not working full. So why not you tell them, hey, you know what? We got this part-time employment, you can apply, you just work half day. Some of them may not want to come to full day, but because your communist policy says that everybody must come every day 9 to 6, so they come, but they're not working full. But you're paying full. Who's a full here? So you can consider part-time. What about those who are delivered a child? The husband says, you know what, stay at home, don't want to work, because we're going to take care of the kid. But if you can give them part-time work, half day, Mondays to Fridays, 9 to 1, they can send their kid to babysitter, 1 o'clock go and fetch. At least you can still keep certain skills, right? So this is what we call as a flexible workforce. And VSS, MSS, and retrenchment. So remember, if a company wants to close down, everybody got to go, you retrench them, right? Or if, let's say, this department closed, you retrench them. You make them redundant, right? When you make people redundant, no need to ask them, boleh ke tak boleh, berapa you nak, etc. No need. Because the position gone. If the position genuinely no longer there, genuine retrenchment, genuine redundancy, no need to discuss. You retrench them. Make them redundant. If they're in the green box, pay them the termination benefit. Red box, you don't need to pay. But if you are not going through a severe crisis, but you nak kurangkan pekerja, you can do VSS, right? Okay, company is giving 1 month paid 1 month salary for every year. Those who are interested, please take it, right? You cannot force them. If I don't want, I won't apply. So that's called VSS, voluntary. But you may also have a scenario where one-to-one, that means this particular employee, I don't have any more plans for him. Company is doing okay, but I don't want him anymore for whatever reason, right? Talk to them one-to-one. Hey, you know what? We no longer want your service. So can you, we want to discuss a package. That's called VSS. So remember, no SSS, suka, sec, all no. And disciplinary issues. I just want to show this one slide, right? It's actually a preface to a disciplinary topic. we can't go through that topic today, but I just want to tell you this. Today's issues in the workplace is created by the company, not employee. When they come to work, first day, they're angels. How come they become devils after a few months? First day angel. After a few months, become devil. Why? We allowed it. We gave them room. Right? We gave them room. We allowed it. So after allowing it, then we said, hey, he's not performing. So simple, for example, HR is very busy, switching off light, stamping employment contract, arranging team building, right? Where to go, which banana boat, where to stay, which is more fun, etc. But they don't spend time. I'm not saying all, don't get me wrong. Some of you may be doing it good, but those of you are not doing it. Have you reviewed your employee's career progression? Who is in the same job for the last 5 years? Same job grade. Are they happy? Are they getting increment? Same job, yeah, but are they getting increment? Are you exposing them? No. So this guy masuk kerja 5 years ago, gaji 3,000, after 3, 4, 5 years, still 3,000. And you know what he will do? He will start to lose interest. He won't go because your company got banana boat ride, team building, medical benefits, 25 days annual leave, health benefits, dental benefits, etc. No need to go. Stay here. Good benefits. But he start to withdraw, right? He withdraw, he do minimum. He become a C performer. So when we look at him, hey, why is this guy not behaving and not performing well, etc.? Yeah, problem like this guy. Now, he did not become problematic by himself. You made him lose interest. Why? Nobody bothers to look at his career progression. You should go to Mr. John. Mr. John, Ramli has been the same job for 4 years. What's your plan for Ramli? What are you going to do with him? His performance is BBB. Now he's starting to get into C zone. Why? What have you done? What is the career progression for him? If you don't have a job, let's transfer him to production or let's transfer him to sales or whatever, right? HR, you should be provoking, probing, right? Go and provoke them. I mean, I'm not saying provoke me, kacau them, no. You go and probe them. What? Why? What should we do with him? But if you just don't bother, work on unnecessary things, people become disinterested in work, they become problematic, right? Or you hire a manager or you promote a manager who is superbly lousy in terms of attitude, uses harsh words. Hey, you what? Stupid are you? You bodoh are you? And then employee become demotivated. They become rebellious. Now you make them hantu. Tomorrow you say this guy problem. But why? Because you as HR and the company fail to put the right manager who is able to motivate employees, who's able to inspire employees, who's able to energize them, who's able to create meaningful work, who's able to support them, who's care for them. You don't do. You hire a hantu to manage them. You promote a hantu to manage them. They become hantu, your nightmare starts. So, majority of your issues at workplace is created by the company. People, system, culture, process. If they got personal issues, husband-wife fight, boyfriend-girlfriend fight, that's none of your problem. But focus on the first 3 boxes. You focus on the first 3 boxes, 80-90% of issues disappear. Okay, I'm already at the tail end. I want to share with you the HR breakthrough strategies, right? So now, what am I saying here? So we spoke about ABCD just now, right? Usually in the class, we will go detail. I've got tons of breakthrough, right? Ideas you have never heard before. If you hear before, probably you heard from me or you heard from somebody who joined the masterclass. So what is this? A performer, exit. B meet. C partial, D poor. So when you give increment to C, you are depriving the A and B of a higher increment, higher bonus. You are not Jabatan Kebajikan Rakyat. Kesian. Let's give lah 1%. Let's give lah half month pay. But when you give C half month pay, you are giving him the idea, okay lah, you still okay lah, at least I give you something, right? When you do that, right, you are depriving the A and B of a higher increment, higher bonus. Who works long hours? AB. Who do extra work? AB. Who is accountable? Who takes account for any mistakes? A and B. Who's the first one to say, boss, I will do it? A and B. Who is there when the house is on fire? A and B. So they are there for you, they die for you, but you give increment to C. So the A should deserve higher increment, higher bonus. The B should deserve also high. A is higher, B is next. Not the D, not the C. So every time you give C, right? That's why the C, all the guys in your company who's a C, who is so comfortable, right? No need to work hard, tak payah. Why? What for? Relax lah. Your gaji kan 5,600 or 4-5,000. Why you worry? You got annual leave, right? 25 days, right? We give. Medical benefit dapatkan. Healthcare dapatkan. Got gym, right? Can go team building, right? Can go training, right? Makan all together, right? So why work hard? So you have created a comfy zone for the C performer. Now, annual leave. Any company that give annual leave, 25 days, 20 days, if you work long hours, etc., because they say that attraction, we want to attract the talent, attract the people. Now, when you bring in, if your company is very effective in removing C and D, no problem. You are able to remove C and D, no problem. But most companies, majority, can't do it. Too nice. Remember? Jabatan Kebajikan Rakyat. So, too nice. So, when you do that, the C enjoys it. Now, you can also do it, change your strategy a bit. You give the minimum. 12, 8 is no longer enough. 12, 14, 16. Now you can tell them, anybody who's an A performer for this year, next year I give you 5 days extra annual leave. B performer, I give you 3 days annual leave. C and D, sorry, minimum leave. So now the A feels motivated. The B feels motivated. The C and D, sorry. Now when you give blindly to everybody, there's no difference between A, B, and C. Is this called discrimination? No. These are performance-based benefit. If you think this is discrimination, then when you give A higher increment, B, C lower increment, that also discrimination. No, these are all benefits based on performance, right? Medical leave. Because of your communist approach, everybody must give MC. Who is the one who abused MC? A, B, or C, D? Anyone? Who abused your MC? The A and B or the C and D? If somebody takes MC, if A and B take MC, you worried, or C and D take MC, you worried? Anyone? C and D, right? So the A and B normally are not worried. They are responsible because they work hard, right? If they start to play moonlight, they cannot perform. But because the A, surely they work hard. But now you see, you do know why you're wasting money? You're making the doctors rich. You're wasting a lot of money. Tens of thousands of ringgit per year if you're a big company. So ladies and gentlemen, starting next year, in 2027, if you're an A performer, the first 5 days of annually, first 5 days of MC, no need MC. You just apply the system, rest at home. B performer, 3 days, no need MC. C and D, I want MC. Why? Because A and D, sometimes we are sick, we don't go to clinic. Not all of you don't go to clinic all the time, right? Sometimes we just at home, we just take some medicine, take nice hot soup, rest, you recover. After all, you're all running pharmacy at home, what? There's a mini pharmacy at home, right? So why you insist that A must get? I trust the A. When you do this, right, the A also feels like, wow, the company trusts me. You save money, you build trust. The B, you give 3 days. The first 3 days, no need MC. Because why? The A and B, give me an answer. A and B, right? What is the number of MCs A and B take in a year, roughly? You all, I think most of you are probably A and B. How many MCs you all take per year, roughly? 1 day, 2 days, 10 days, 14 days? The hantu, maximum. Guna pakai semua. Cuti tahunan tambahan. The A and B, how many MCs you all take per year? Roughly. 2 days, right? 2 days, 3 days, maybe 5 days at the max. But the C and D takes about 10 days, 15 days, 14 days. So, like it or not, everybody takes minimum 3 or 4 or more. So why not you change the strategy? If you have MC, if you're an A performer, first 5 days, no need. I trust you. Do you know how much money you save? You go back and check your records. The A and B, the number of MCs they took in the last 12 months, you calculate times by 80 ringgit, how much money is that? Tons of money. Why you spend this money there? If you can save this money, give it to your A and B. They will feel much more happier. That's why my question to you all is, how can you give more to your key performer without asking the boss money? This is one of the method. Instead of paying the clinic, keep the money and give it to the A and B. Today, because you want MC, so every MC is 50, 60, 70 ringgit. Can you imagine if you got 100 MCs in the A and B times 550 ringgit or 60 ringgit is 6,000 ringgit. Imagine you take this 6,000 ringgit, you give it to the A and B as your increment. A lot of money. Sabbatical leave. Guys, if you can perform A 3 years, in 5 years, right? You have at least 3A and 2B. That means in 3 years, you must, no C, no C. In 5 years, you got 3 A's. Company will give you 1 month leave. Go lah, mana-mana you nak pergi. Japan, Korea, want to go Umrah, go ahead. B, they give you 2 weeks paid leave. These people have earned the money for you, right? If you give 1 month every 5 years, basically you got to allocate 20% of the salary every year. Now, A performer, they work hard for 5 years. Give them this kind of benefit. No, very few companies, I know some MNCs do it. Training budget. Why spend money on team building? When you do team building, the training providers, I'm a training provider as well. Training provider becomes rich. The hotel becomes rich. They earn money. But the biggest fool, the biggest loser is company. You are doing team building for the last donkey years, right? Any improvement? People change? All become high performer? So, instead of spending money, a lot of money in team building, hotel, etc., instead of spending money in team building, if you bring A and B for team building, I tutup mulut. I keep my mouth shut. A and B, okay, you want to reward them, go ahead. But when you bring the C and D, that's where it's painful. Why the C enjoys team building. That's why they stay. So, instead of spending money in team building, why not you tell the A performer, if you are A performer this year, next year, company will allocate 5,000 ringgit from levy, right, your levy that you pay, you can do whatever training you want. You want to go to Johor, KL, Penang, go for some training, you want to upskill yourself, you want to go for certification, 5,000 is for you. If you're a B performer, 3,000. C and D, sorry, if any internal training, you do. No extras for you. So now, and many more, I have many more, I'm just sharing some with you. So now, your A performer will feel so valued. If he goes for interview outside, right, he's going to ask, okay, for your company, A performer, apa you bagi ya? Annual leave extra? No. Medical leave, sabbatical training? No. I got many more. No. I better stay here. So now, you are not giving a reason for your A and B to leave. And I can tell you, people talk about it now. And this kind of thing, share it out, publicize it. Hey, Adlin, you going China? Why? No, I'm going China for 1 month for holiday, etc. 1 month? How come 1 month? You take annual leave or unpaid leave? No. No annual leave, unpaid leave. My company give me 1 month paid leave. Why? A performer, they give me every 5 years and go. Oh, really? So people start to talk about your company, right? Instead of paying the doctor, instead of paying the hotel, save the money, give sabbatical. So this is how you are able to create these breakthrough strategies. Able to retain. All this while, when you talk about people issues, right? Kita sekadar atas meja, on the surface. Okay, so I'm going to skip the last one. How can you issue show cause letter, warning letter, not offer letter, sorry. How can you issue show cause letter, warning letter to employee within 30 minutes? Today, you'll take 1 week, 2 weeks. When an employee don't come to work, the show cause letter, 3 days, 4 days, warning letter, etc., 1 week, 2 weeks. I or you can do it in 30 minutes. How? Right? There's a form that you use. The form is available in the forum. Please download it. Okay, so before I go to Q&A, a bit of advertisement, then I cover Q&A. So what I've just presented is a glimpse of the masterclass. And of course, during masterclass, you'll get the yellow book. We'll go through the acts, interpret, where to find answers, how to read certain acts together, and so on. So this is the masterclass, a very tough session. You see me like this, I'm also like that. I joke, yes, but serious in learning. So we have got class in PJ, Kuching, Bayan Lepas, and Kota Kinabalu. Unfortunately, this training is not cheap, right? Cheap, please go elsewhere. 2 days, power pack. You learn tons of things that you have never learned before. How to save tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands ringgit. Notice period, you are wasting money. Long probation period, you're wasting money. Even notice period, you're wasting money, yeah? 3 months, you're wasting so much of money. You all don't realize it. Not giving annual leave from day one, you're wasting money, right? So where can you save all this money? 3,400 ringgit investment saves you tons of money, right? So PJ class is always full house. So if you want, be fast, be quick. And of course, you get, policies, documentation, templates, and all those things, right? And these are also some other trainings that we do, right? We have the Masterclass, domestic inquiry. We have got, many others. So we also have certified programs, internally certified IR practitioner, certified business partner, certified HR resource, human resource manager. Then we have got domestic inquiry trainings that is happening in Sarawak on this day, and PJ. We have got also how do you draft. These are the upcoming trainings. So those of you all, if you're coming, please come. Those of you, if you're paying for yourself, company not sponsoring you, we love to see people who make effort, who sacrifice to attend trainings. We do give discounts to those people who are self-paying. If HRDF, you pay full. Self-paying, we have discounts. We like to help people who likes to learn, right? Those of you who want to go learn, please do so. And just to let you know, Malaysia HR Forum, this is our sister company, a new college that we have set up. Actually, we acquired a college. We have changed the name to Metropolitan. These are the diplomas that we have. We've got many other diplomas. Hotel management, if you're in the hotel industry, business management, and HR management coming up very soon. Now, it's distance learning, online learning. You can study anywhere, anytime. We use Moodle as our LMS. You can either study first, pay later, or you study now and pay now as you go, or you pay upfront. If you pay now, it's 799, one shot, 7,800, 8,000 for diploma, or you pay every month 399, or you study 12 months, you pay. You study 12 months, you pay. So you study first, pay later. Now, this is to help out your employees. If you have any employees at a supervisor level, assistant level, clerical level, or even executives, don't have a diploma, they can't afford it, you can get them to study this. You can also use HRDF levy to pay for this, or they can also afford to pay on their own, they can withdraw EPF, etc. So sharing this with you, share it with your employees. Those days when I was in HR, I was a very different HR compared to many of you all. I forced people to go and study. I go and find what are the programs out there. Flexible, cheap, easy, flexible, cost-effective, etc. I tell them, go and study this. So I've got people who did diploma, masters, and so on, and climb the ladder. So if you want, as HR, I want to ask all of you all this. Running all these events, lucky draw, team building, etc., people forget all this after some time. If you want to make an impact in your employee's life, it has got to be a life-changing impact. You see an employee struggling, no money, he will go to another company and get better money. Why can't you help them? You know what? Why not you go and do a diploma? If you do a diploma, we can promote you, right? These are some options. We have got operations management, manufacturing operations, and many other diploma. You can go to our website, metro.edu.my, and so help them create a life-changing moment in them. Not this once in a while, shock sendiri, makan, enjoy, they forget. Life-changing. As HR, you got to work on life-changing activities. If you want to, people are our assets, life-changing. Okay? And so that's about it. So yeah, I would like to go through the questionnaire. So just give me 1 minute. Let me read the question. Just give me 1 minute. Those of you all, if you need to go, right? Those of you all, if you need to go, I can understand, please go. But if those who like to stay back, please stay back. This webinar that you see today will be saved in Facebook for 30 days. After 30 days, Facebook will remove all this recording. But we also save this in our YouTube channel. So you can also revisit this video anytime you want in our YouTube channel. So if you need to go, you can come back and read the questionnaire after your class or whatever if you want to. But those of you, if you're able to stay, give me another 10-15 minutes. I'll try to answer some of the important ones. And I'll see you in Masterclass if you're joining. Okay, so I'll just pick, I won't be able to answer all the questions, but let me just pick some of the important ones. Okay. Okay. Masterclass HRF claimable in Malaysia. Which training is not Masterclass claimable, Alicia? All training in Malaysia, Masterclass is claimable. Okay. Okay, if a performer leaves, what if one day they're suddenly not a performer anymore? Can we take back extra days? Now, let me ask you this. Somebody cannot become a poor performer the next day. If your KPI set objectively, if you assess KPI objectively, not easy KPI, etc., An A performer is an A performer, right? If last year was an A, you give him this year, he's an A, next year is an A. Now, I can tell you, it's very difficult for A performer to drop. Now, let me ask you this. Why do you worry about one guy who dropped? And because of this one guy, you start to say, no, we cannot give others. Don't punish the rest because of one guy. Now, if you think that his performance have dropped, put in your policy or your letter, when you give them a letter saying that, dear Alicia, congratulations, your performance is A, company is giving you extra annual leave. Now, you got to maintain a performance level. Should you fail, should you drop, the company reserves the right to withdraw the extra leave. You can do that, but I hope you don't do it. Because why? If you have done your objective as fairly, I'm sure he can. When you start pulling back, right, the other guys won't trust you, right? People talk about it. Sometimes people don't trust company. You know what? Alicia got A last year. We gave her 5 days annual leave. Then some issue happened. Now the company pulled back. That doesn't inspire confidence. That doesn't inspire trust. Once give, keep it. It's okay. 1 year. What's the big deal? 5 days annual leave, Alicia. Will your company burn down? Your company is going to collapse tomorrow or go bankrupt? No. 1 case, 2 case. Don't punish the majority because of the minority. Okay. Sell the idea to management, sell out the why benefit. Exactly. Do you know why? Let me tell all of you all this. Why is it that when we propose an idea to management find it so hard to convince them? Why? Because you don't talk like me. Boss, we can do this. You have to be confident. See, I'm talking to you. I'm very confident. I'm confident what I'm saying. You see my voice, my body message, my tone, right? My aggressiveness, my firmness. You have to deal with the management like this, right? Boss, do you want to retain employees or you want to lose them? If you want to retain them, I want to give you a breakthrough idea. I want to give this idea about giving, asking employees who are A performer, don't need to produce MC. Let me tell you why. Last 12 months, right? These are the employees who's an A performer, B performer. The number of MCs taken, 250 days. We have paid out to the clinic 250 times 80, 20,000 ringgit. These are people, every year you look at their performance, quite consistent. Their performance quite consistent. They are not the devils. But because we insist, we spend 20,000 a year, or maybe even more. Now imagine, boss, this 20,000, we don't pay the clinic, we give back to the employees as a special incentive. They will feel motivated. But the C&D, they must still give us. Proof with numbers. Show them a trend. Right? Don't just say, boss, can we take MC? Like that, nobody will buy your story. That is pimai, tang tu boleh lah. Okay. An employee, Sylvia, after 10 years, if the employee 10 years, an employee 10 years after PIP, still no improvement. Of course, it doesn't matter whether it's 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. If he's a poor performer, you put him through PIP, you can terminate him. But go through the PIP process. 1 year, also, poor performer, PIP, terminate. Probationer, no PIP, friends. Don't waste money on PIP and probationers. Probationers already on trial. Cannot, 1 month, 2nd month, 3rd month, cannot go. PIP is for confirmed stuff. Now, Sylvia, let me tell you what you have missed. You have missed the point here. How come an employee after 10 years became a poor performer? I tell you, in this case, right, you're not telling the truth. He has been a poor performer for the last few years. HR and the manager baru bangun tidur, just realize, the guy, you just realize. But I'm sure, 99.9% sure, he has not been performing for the last few years. You all did nothing. It's okay lah, never mind, give chance, etc. Now it has come to a point, Sylvia, am I right? It has come to a point, you cannot take it anymore. My question to you is this. If you remove him 2 years ago, even if you file a case, he wins the case, you pay 24 months, plus 8 months, 30 months. But today, you've already paid out a salary. The 30 months you pay a salary. Now you terminate him. If you don't do it correctly, you pay another 24. So please wake up. Please monitor. Please take action on time. Okay, if PIP process, it does not meet minimum expectation, can we change a permanent contract? No, Shazwani, no, right? If the person is a contract employee, permanent employee, cannot perform, tell them go out after your process is done. You cannot change the contract to fix them. The law doesn't allow it, right? And you think you change to fix them, he's going to be happy. Cannot perform, we demote him. That's why I say, for me, demotion all I will not do. Once you demote somebody or you change them from permanent to contract, let's say he or she is going to feel unhappy. Nobody's going to be happy, right? They're not going to come to work morning, hey, I'm happy, I'm inspired, I do work. No, they'll become, C performer now. So when they become C performer, they become withdrawn. Then what do? You do engagement survey. Who's not happy? All our employees not happy. Let's do annual team building. Let's do engagement campaign. But they're not happy for what? So to me, if you do this, number one, the law will not allow you. Number two, if you do this right, you are prolonging your headache for the next many years. And after 1 year, 2 years, he may leave. You wasted 1 year paying him salary. Okay, next. Okay, maybe, one or two more. Okay, if a staff has been under PIP for more than 3 months, currently a long MC with no improvement, no performance, can you terminate? Now, if you have given him 3 months to perform, and he goes on MC, a safer way to do is to extend the PIP. Assess him objectively for 3 months. Cannot terminate. But if his MC keep going on and on and on and on and on, then you put him under medical process and you frustrate his contract if he's come to a point where he's not working anymore, right? So to me, what I will do is I will extend the PIP so that I can give him a full 3 months assessment so that he cannot go and say that I was on 3 months PIP. Just imagine his argument. 3 months PIP, I only worked for 1 month, I went on 2 months MC, the company terminated me. So just imagine if you are the industrial court chairman, how will you look at it? I feel the company should have just extended, right? Give him time to prove because you told him 3 months, but unfortunately he falls sick, right? You should. So for me, a safer approach is I would extend the probation, give him the full 3 months, then take him out if he cannot perform. Okay. Okay. Employee have to pay termination benefit for medically board out employees. Yes. What about those fixed term contract when it's not expired? Now, if you read the fixed term contract, CQA, if you read the termination layoff benefit, it says that as long as they complete 12 months, they are entitled. So this is more than 12 months. If they work more than 12 months, even though they did not finish the next contract, they already completed 12 months. You got to pay. Is there a minimum PIP? Nope, you decide. So, Hui Zen, is there a minimum PIP? Nope, the court never tells us. They never told us what is PIP. You decide. But be reasonable. Don't rush. Give them opportunity. Be fair. Document it. If all these are done, your case is good. So you decide. So if you ask me a rule of thumb, right? What I will do. Operator, 2 to 3 months. Executive, 4 to 6 months. Manager, 6 to 9 months. If you ask me, right? This is what I will do. You may think it's long, but again, it's up to you, right? So you want to keep it short, fine. But later part, you must be able to, you'll be able to defend your case that the time given is good enough, sufficient for him to prove. If the employee is able to counter your argument that 2 months was not enough because my job is a very complex job, you ask for trouble. Okay, latest EA is published date and publisher, Tay Boon Siu. Good morning to you, sir. Looks like you just woke up from sleep. The latest EA, sorry lah, just joking. 2022, my friend. You only realize it now. So go to Popular, get this book, 30 ringgit. In this book, it's a good book, it's all the compilations are there, employment law, all the regulations are there, all the regulations, right? The forms, regulations, everything is here. So it'll be a good book. Tay, please go and get a copy of it. No regrets, 30 ringgit. Or come to Masterclass, we give it to you for free. Okay, maybe one more last question. Interesting. This is good. Now, guys, before you go, $1 million tip for you. Don't go yet. My last question, I want to just share one case. What happens when employee tender during PIP? Now, if they want to tender, let them tender, right? If they want to tender, your PIP is 6 months, their notice period 2 months, they tender, they go, don't worry about it. But just document it, right? If they want to go, let them go. You can't stop them, right? People do. Now, next, disciplinary. There's employee committed a misconduct. I got $1 million answer, $1 million tip. Don't go yet. Employee is committed misconduct, right? And there's an issue, right? There's an issue. And he wants to resign and go. So should you accept his resignation? To me, I will not stop him. But in the letter, I will say that, dear so-and-so, the company has received your resignation, right? We acknowledge your resignation, or we acknowledge your resignation. Put a line there. The company reserves to take action if needed, whatever lah, so that you know that you are clear. Can the employee say, I was forced to resign? No, you resign, and I've already told you, right? Company still reserves the right. So protect yourself. That sample letter, you can get it in the forum. Now, I want to ask you this. This is $1 million tip. Many of you all may not know because you all don't read. Now, you have got problematic employees. Employees who cannot perform, employees with disciplinary issues, can be managers, etc. You just don't know what to do, right? You don't know what to do with him. So, number one, it is very easy to nail an employee. Check their attendance, check their MC, check their time in, time out. Surely you'll find, surely you can nail. Now, in the case of Matrix, it's a case, quite a recent case. Now, if I were to tell you this, let's say now, Pat Raju. So if I were to tell you this, Pat, company don't have any more job for you lah. You are a problematic guy. You cannot perform, your attitude is bad, etc. Why not you resign? Right? Or why not let's work out a package. Why not you resign? If you don't resign, I'll put you in PIP. Right? Your performance is bad. You don't resign, I'll put you on, why not you resign? If you don't resign, I'll put you on PIP. Your disciplinary issue is bad. Maybe why not just resign and go? If not, I'll put you on DI and whatnot. Now, if I were to have this conversation, do you think it's proper or not proper? Can the guy walk out and say that, I was forced to resign? Anyone? Can somebody say, company told me this, they forced me to leave, so I resign? Yes or no? Okay, Meg, I have to, say no to you. It is not a good excuse for constructive dismissal. Please read the case. Please write down the case of Matrix Global. Go to FB forum, search for the case. Please read the case. Because in the Court of Appeal, in this case, the Court of Appeal says that merely suggesting an employee to resign is not forced resignation. So, all of you all who say not proper, you guys are not reading, right? You're just guessing your way. You probably heard, don't know where, from which revelation, cannot. But please go and read the Matrix Global case. The industrial court says that merely suggesting an employee to resign is not forced resignation. But don't cross the red line, right? Don't go and say, Pat, your performance no good. We don't want you anymore. Why not you resign or book out a package? Stop there. Don't go and say, okay, here, offer a resignation. Sign here now. Don't ever do that, right? That is already crossing the red line. Merely suggesting an employee to resign, the Court of Appeal says it is not a forced resignation, right? So Teresa, all of you all who said, this is forced, etc., please go and read. Because you do not know all this, that's why you don't know how to manage. So many of you say not proper. Because you all don't read, that's why you all don't know how to manage all this headache. So please read. Only when you have this know-how, only when you have this knowledge, you are able to confidently run your job. Otherwise, you'll be like takut, tak bermaya, don't know what to do, clueless, lost, zombies running around, etc. Headache, stressful, you get tired, you get burnout because you're not competent. If you are competent, you become confident. When you are confident, nobody dare to play a fool with you. Nobody dare to play a fool with you, right? Just don't, you can have the conversation, but do not cross the red line. Okay? So with that, we have to call it a day. Thank you so much. Sorry to keep you waiting for so long. And some of you all may feel like, wow, this guy, kurang ajar, using all kind of funny words, rape lah, stupid lah, fool lah, this and that, etc. Now, I am not belittling all of you all, but sometimes we need hard lessons. We need somebody knock our head to wake us up. Otherwise, we just relax, lemah longlai here, there, etc. No. Only when you go through a tough session, you will start to realize what you don't know, what you're missing, right? I'm sure you'll remember me for next few years now. I've gone for so many trainings, but this one idiot, this one stupid fool, use all kind of words. You should remember me one, right? So my purpose is not to belittle you guys down or belittle you guys or whatever. I just want you to wake up, realize what you don't know, make the change. Go to Facebook, follow the discussions. Next week another seminar, another webinar. How do you manage employees' medical conditions? How do you terminate them? How do you manage employees with mental health issues? That will be a webinar next week. So if you do not know the link, go to Facebook, sign up and join. Okay? So Nisa, Muhammad Ali, please join Masterclass first. Your first step, Masterclass, right? It's so important that you all must join Masterclass, right? I can tell you, one of the best training that you should attend. It doesn't matter whether you're a business partner, whether you're L&D, you want to do strategic HR. Before you talk about anything strategic, learn the foundation first, right? Okay, with that, thank you so much. I will share these slides in a short while in Facebook. Download it. This webinar is recorded. If you want to watch again, next 30 days, it will be available on Facebook. After 30 days, Facebook will remove it. But we'll also save this in our YouTube channel. So you want to watch, you can also go to YouTube channel. So I will share the slides. Some of the forms that I mentioned just now, and the policies, PIP policies, flexible arrangement policies, flexible arrangement form, the employment regulations, all these forms are available in Facebook. Go and download it. The PIP form, the probation review form, how to do your disciplinary process in 30 minutes, not 3 days, not 5 days. In 30 minutes, how to settle it, from show cause to warning letter. This form is available in forum as well. Save time. Don't spend time on unnecessary stuff, right? Thank you so much. And see you in the quiz next week. See you at the IR competition. 5,000 to 20,000 ringgit to be won. See you all. Bye.